Hello all audience. I, Atharva Kalse, welcomes you all on behalf of Indo Science Education Trust Pune for this event of Bharat Ke Paramveer, a 21-week long session from Srikant Walwadkar sir of Paramveer Chakra holders. I welcome you all for this event. Now I hand over mic to Srikant Walwadkar sir for the further proceedings. So I request Srikant sir to go on with the today's session.
Good evening, viewers. Good evening to everybody, all Indians. I welcome you on the third episode of Bharat Ke Paramveer uh, broadcast today, 29 November 2020. Every Paramveer defines the character of Indian Armed Forces. Every Paramveer uh, shows the character and the energy of the Indians in front of the enemy and the dedication, attitude, and the thinking power. So let's move to episode 3. As usual, Naman, respect and regards for every one of 21 Paramveer diamonds in the necklace of our Bharat Mata. Last time I missed out the acknowledgement, so I decided to give this acknowledgement and complete my responsibility. I wish to express sincere thanks and acknowledge to the following sources for their contribution in completion of the presentation. Photographs of the statue at National War Memorial, New Delhi. Acknowledgement is to this Chaitanya Velaga. Then Wikipedia and official website of Indian Army. I wish to acknowledge defenseadda247.com, Rawat Rachna Bisht for her very well-written book, The Brave Paramveer Chakra Stories, Penguin Publishing House, India, 2014. Then my friend Bhagwan Datar, who translated this book, and that book also, Rohan Publication, Pune, 2017. And last not but the least, www.hr.com, Major Somnath Sharma and other heroes. Every time I'll remind you about this particular slide. So, operation-wise, war-wise, summary of Paramveers. Last time we made I thought I had made a mistake in showing Captain Guru Bachan Singh Salaria as alive, but he was a posthumous. He received the award in Union Peacekeeping Forces in Congo. He could not come back. Posthumously on 5th December 1961, his bravery gave him the award, highest gallantry award. This program is dedicated to the unsung heroes of Indian Armed Forces who made supreme sacrifice for the safety and security of our India and Indians, and most important, their family members whose sacrifice, suffering never gets a simple mention. Similar thing. Now I focus myself on the first defeat of Pakistan war, 1947-48. 5 warriors received the Paramveer. Now, 1947, India became independent. However, they could not be said they could not be given the Paramveer Chakra because of legal problems. In the sense that though we were independent, we're still under the authority of Britain, and anything to be newly started needed the permission of Britain. As a result, by 1950, we became totally independent, and the Paramveer Awards and other awards were brought into existence. So these warriors were honored with Paramveer Chakra on 26th January 1950 for their bravery, in the 47-48 first defeat of Pakistan. So we have seen Major Somnath Sharma last time, his bravery of 3rd November 1947. The coincidence we have seen that he was the brother-in-law of uh, Savitribai Khanolkar, the designer of Paramveer Chakra award, her daughter's brother-in-law. What a coincidence. Now we move to second warrior, Naik Yadunath Singh. His bravery on 6th February 1948. We'll see this. But he also were unfortunate that he could not come back from the operations, and he received award posthumously. These 5 episodes, now I further focus it further to say that these 5 episodes are dedicated to the unsung heroes martyred, injured, alive or no more during the 1947-48 war with Pakistan and their family members. India, every Indian, along with all their generations, will remain indebted to these warriors forever. This is a photograph I could lay my hand on. Srinagar Airport, the army, Indian Army has landed, and 27th October 1947. And then they are moving forward for the ensuring that the Jammu Kashmir remains part of India. We fight to win and win with a knockout because there are no runners-up in war. General J.J. Singh. He is the hero of today's episode, Naik Yadunath Singh or Yadunath Singh, Paramveer Chakra, posthumous. Both names are written in the official documents. So either it's a pronunciation that probably differs, Yadunath Singh or Yadunath Singh. I keep saying, what rank you join the armed forces is immaterial. The requirement of rank structure in the armed forces is an organizational requirement to ensure the discipline. But when it comes to the warrior showing the character, showing the leadership qualities, rank doesn't matter. So this is first example of personal below officer rank or NCO, non-commissioned, JCO, junior commissioned officer, first JCO to receive Paramveer Chakra in India. Let's move for his family background. Naik Yadunath Singh, his date of birth, he was born on 21st November 1916 in a small village, Khajuri, in UP, district Shahjahanpur. His father, Sri Birbal Singh Rathore, was a farmer, small-time farmer, very challenging backgrounds. Mother, Mrs. Jamuna Kanwar, was a homemaker. Financially, extremely challenging situation. He was the third of 8 children. They had 8 children. So 6 brothers and a sister, and he was third, so 8 amongst the 8. He was very much attached to his mother. At young age, he used to help her at home. That is, again, the emotional thing. I always say mother is a God's blessing for the children. You remember though that Hindi song, "E maa teri surat se alag, Bhagwan ki surat kya hogi." So he was very much attached to his mother at young age. Due to financial challenges, he could not complete or he did not have access to good education and joined village school, could study till 4th standard in the village school. Simultaneously, he was helping his father in the farm and mother at home after school to contribute to the family. So when there are challenges, you get grown up, you get the skills to overcome these challenges. Interest developed in wrestling. When he grew, then he left the school after 4th standard, and then he was helping his father in the farm, mother in the school, and slowly he was growing. At a young age, he developed interest in wrestling. His wrestling skills came to limelight when he became wrestling champion in the village. So they keep saying, there's a saying that चमत्कार दाखवल्याशिवाय नमस्कार मिळत नाही. अनलेस यू शो सम मॅजिक यू विल नॉट गेट रिस्पेक्ट. आणि इफ यू कीप नमस्कार करत राहिला तर लोक पण चमत्कारिक वागतात. दिस इज व्हॉट आय हॅव ॲडेड फर्दर टू दॅट. चमत्काराशिवाय नमस्कार मिळत नाही आणि नुसतं नमस्कार करत राहिलं तर लोक चमत्कारिक वागतात. He used his energy very often to sort out the goons who misbehaved. जो लोग मिसबिहेव करते थे विलेज में. See, this is the energy. That's what I keep saying. Every body is an energy, and the elders have a responsibility to ensure that this energy is directed in a correct direction. So, Yadunath Singh, as a young wrestler, used to sort out these goons who used to misbehave with girls, with other people in the village. So his energy was used in a proper direction. He was very, very religious, and his devotee was Bhagwan Hanuman as a wrestler. This is again a custom, still it is followed. Hanuman is the god for whom these wrestlers pray every time. As a staunch devotee, he was so staunch devotee of Hanuman that he decided to remain a bachelor for life and followed it in true letter and spirit. He was a bachelor. At the age of 25, on 21st November 1941, he enrolled himself in the Rajput regiment, and it's at the regiment center in Fatehgarh. After successful training, he was posted to 1st Battalion of Rajput Regiment. During late 1942, when the World War started, his unit moved towards Burma, and he participated in World War II as a young soldier, and was involved. He was deployed in the Burma. He participated in the Arakan campaign. We have seen Somnath Sharma, Major Somnath Sharma also had participated in Arakan campaign in 1942-43. There, he was a junior soldier, but the leadership qualities, she showed the glimpses of his leadership qualities, and the way he behaved in the war, and gallantry nature also it was shown. बाळाचे पाय पाळण्यात दिसतात. A youngster's feet. Anybody who is going to achieve something can be seen from his behavior at the young age. He was promoted to the rank of Naik by the end of Second World War, and as a NCO by end of the war, and was appointed as the commander of a small section of troops. So as you grow in the ranks, your responsibility increases, your working nature changes. So as a non-commissioned officer, he was detailed as a commander of a small section of 9 to 10 troops, and he was to train them. He was to ensure their motivation levels for the benefit of army. His time of reckoning was yet to come. India had to wait till 6 February 1948 for understanding the energy called Naik Yadunath Singh. 6 February 1948, the Battle of Taindhar. So we have seen the first war and defeat of Pakistan of 1947-48 background. We have seen amongst those units of Indian Army who were shifted to Srinagar and participated in this war. One Rajput was one of the battalions chosen for defending borders of J&K, borders of India, because they had signed the accession for India. So J&K borders became India's borders. The unit moved to Naushera by road after reaching Srinagar. By road, they were shifted towards Naushera sector and reached their destination by 8th December 1947. The army had planned several operations to drive out the raiders as directed. In one such operations, the 50th Para Brigade, to whom this Rajput regiment was attached, was ordered to secure Naushera and establish a base at Jhanjar in mid-November. But the bad weather, again, December, peak of winters, the Indian troops were not used to this weather, but still nothing deterred them. But since bad weather was there, prevented this action. And on 24 December, taking advantage of this at Jhanjar, a strategically advantageous position in the Naushera sector was captured by the Pakistanis, which gave them control over the communication lines and the road between Mirpur and Poonch. It was an important factor. And there was a necessity of holding them there and not allowing them to cross further towards Naushera. It provided a standing starting point from which attacks could be made on Naushera. The following month, that is January, the Indian Army undertook several operations in the north west of Naushera to stop further advances by the Pakistani forces. The commanding officer of 50th Para Brigade, Brigadier Muhammad Usman, who received the Mahaviri Chakra for his bravery and for his planning, had made necessary arrangements to counter the expected attack. So, in that area, soldiers were deployed in small groups of possible enemy approaches. And then Tayandhar was one of the location. It was lying to the north of Naushera, was one such approach for which four such pickets were formed on the Tayandhar bridge, and Naik Yadunath Singh was commander of his 9 soldiers, along with 9 soldiers, was in charge of number 2 picket. So total 10 people in his picket, including him. So, and Naik Yadunath Singh, along with his 9 soldiers, was responsible to hold the advance of raiders and Pakistan. Imagine 10 people from one picket, at the type of 4 pickets at various locations on the Tayandhar Ridge. They were supposed to hold hundreds and thousands of enemy people approaching them. Very challenging. You must be remembering that song, Ek Ek Ne Das Das Ko Mara. And actually it has happened. You see, 10 people in one picket, 4 pickets, so 40 people. And the incoming waves of enemy were in a large extent. At the pre-dawn of 6 February 1948, winter month, thick fog, temperatures at times sub-zero, there was thick fog. Because of the fog, they could not see, the vision was limited. So when Yadunath Singh was on a lookout, through his, he could see some specks moving far away from their location. So he had a doubt whether it is his psychological difficulty that he is seeing this, or actually it has happened, or the enemy is approaching us. So a person who was a soldier, his his section soldier, he told him to look out. So he also said, yes, I can see some movement there, very far away. Specks, very small specks were seen. So he gave order to his people, get into the trenches, get ready. We may have to. They may be approaching us. And they were in large number. Naik Yadunath Singh ordered his 9 men to be ready in their positions to hold and repulse the enemy attack, and thwart their attempt to move towards Naushera. As they came closer, the specks had turned into bearded and sunburned faces of Pakistani raiders and Pathans with the soldiers of Pakistan Army. With guns in hand, they were emerging from the behind thick vegetation or behind the boulders and rocks. Now the time of reckoning had come. He had choice whether to surrender or fight till last man and last round. Naik Yadunath Singh, with his background, has made a very simple choice, and it was to be seen in his actions. At 6:40 in the morning, Pakistani forces first fire was opened on the pickets from the battalion patrolling along the Tayandhar ridge. Yadunath Singh, together with his 9 men, directed their LMGs on the first wave of attackers. Enemy in large numbers, strategy for replacement of enemy. One enemy soldier died, that there will be a couple of soldiers replacing them. So there was never, it's like Akshay Patra. It was never less in number. In fact, they were increasing in number. Enemy was coming closer. Started now they were coming closer, so they started using the hand grenades. Yadunath Singh and his soldiers, his comrades. Some enemy soldiers had reached the trenches also. Now, this is a dangerous situation. So, this led to the hand to hand combat because you can't fire at a closer range. It may affect your own people. So, bonneting in the trenches, it was a mayhem, and first wave of attacks was repulsed effectively, but at a cost. 4 out of 10 were wounded in the first attack. So enemy was ran back. They could not succeed in the first wave. Now they were trying to take stock of the situation. Jitnal Singh was moving from one person to other person. He could make out that 4 are wounded badly, and they could barely recovered when the second attack on the post started. Almost every one of the 6 were injured. Yadunath Singh was also injured by a gunshot in his right hand and right thigh. He had injury. The gun bullet marks were there, and it pierced in his right hand and right thigh. Started bleeding. But in the same, again, the energy that matters, Chaitanya, that's what we call in Hindi. He crawled to the badly injured soldier who was handling brain gun and took over the gun. An enemy reached by the walls of the post, but the braves did not give up. But by now, all the 10 were either injured or killed in the attack. Realizing the limitations, the enemy attacked third time. Second time also, they were sent back. But by the time, almost all were injured. The leader, the commander, Naik Yadunath Singh, also was badly injured. He was bleeding from his wounds. Now wounded badly and alone. Now third attack came. Imagine what type of thinking could be there in that situation. Do or die, we keep saying in a routine manner, but then that's effectively these people have done. So when he realized that he is the alone who can and who has to fight, so he said there is no way he can remain in trench and fight with them. They are coming closer and closer. So he gets up, comes out of the trench with LMG in his hand. He's bleeding. He's wounded very badly. He's bleeding from his right hand and right leg. He starts walking towards the enemy, and simultaneously he's firing at them. Shocked by this madness, I keep saying, Desh Seva, Desh Bhakti is a madness. It's a nasha. So you have no other thoughts. What would my brother do? What my sister will be doing? You don't think in that situation. So it's a madness. By this enemy soldiers were shocked at this madness, disregard for personal safety. Because on the other hand, the enemy soldiers and the Pathans, raiders, were shown some carrot that you go there, you can pick up any lady, bring her back, any money, whatever jewelry is there, you can pick up. It's your area. You are the boss. And by showing this carrot, they were brought to fight. Now they were not trained, but since they were shown this carrot, they were joined them. And when they saw this madness, this Desh Bhakti, and this person, we have seen in the Hindi movies, the heroes, Amitabh Bachchan or other heroes, coming out badly wounded and trying to attack the enemy. And this actually happened. Real and real. There is a reality of this. So Naik Yadunath Singh, by saying the enemy was surprised and they fled in disorder. They came in an ordered manner, organized manner. But when they saw this particular avatar of Naik Yadunath Singh or Indian soldier, Indian army, they ran helter and skelter. Now, when he was walking towards them and firing at them, one bullet hit his chest, but he ignored it and continued moving forward and firing at the enemy. In the meantime, second bullet whipped his head. Now was the uh, time for him to be reckoned. There's a limitation. The body can take some burns up to some limit. So this particular last bullet had his name, Naik Yadunath Singh, with his eyes still open and breathing fire from his eyes, dropped to his knees and crumbled in front of his picket, number two picket, at the sixth uh, day of this month, and he was still alive. His eyes were watching the enemy running away uh, from the pickets, disordered manner, and they were afraid. And finally, his time came, and काळ आला होता, वेळ पण आली होती, आणि he died. This is the way they could fight with 10 people for 2 hours. 2 hours, and at a very crucial time, the reinforcements from the rear side of Naushera came from 50 Brigade, and they ensured that enemy is not able to cross this Tainda Ridge. Now, when they saw after the fight was over, they were taking stock of the situation. Those who were alive, they could see Naik Yadunath Singh suffered with 8 bullet injuries during 3 enemy attacks. There were so many heroes besides him who died fighting that day. Everybody of the 10 who died on that day or got injured was a hero for India. Amongst the stories of bravery, Yadunath's story tops all. Not only he fought himself valiantly. See, as a leader, you are leading by example in the armed forces, but you have to ensure, you have to encourage your men, motivate them to fight, and that is a responsibility. You alone, you cannot do everything single-handedly. So that responsibility comes on you. Certain defeat was there was a defeat expected. How much can a group of 10 people hold on to their post against the swarm of 1500 2000 people? But this sure shot defeat was turned into victory by these warriors. Second attack also repulsed, and they were the men who lived up to the traditions of bravery and glory of Indian armed forces. They represent us. We feel very proud that we joined the armed forces of such people, such characters, such energies. Naik Yadunath Singh, as a commander, led by example and motivated them to fight for last man and win the battle. For his gallantry action in the face of enemy, he was honored with the highest gallantry award of Independent India, Paramveer Chakra, first NCO of Independent India to get awarded with the highest gallantry award. Now, every unit has the war record book. So this unit's Rajput regiment's unit war record of 6 February 1948 mentions this sentence. Remember, every word is so important, and that's the truth of this authenticity. Number 2, 9, 7, and Kepler's post. 4 posts were established on the range on that date. Every post was commanded by a NCO or JCO, and every post had total 10 people to hold on to the post and ensure that enemy doesn't cross their post. So number 2, 9, 7, and Kepler's post attacked simultaneously. They were attacked. Enemy put in about 1500 to 2000 on each picket. 1500 ते 2000 enemy प्रत्येक पिकेटवर त्यांनी पाठवले होते enemy. Enemy launched the attack in several waves. The battle lasted for 2 hours. Last wave beaten back by cold steel and bonnet. Enemy retired, leaving 260 bodies. 131 rifles, and over 200 swords. Total enemy casualties believed to be 3,000 killed, 1,000 wounded. Own casualties of Indian army, 21 killed and 62 wounded. Every one of these 21 killed and 62 wounded, and those who uh, were present there were the heroes of India. And all Indians should be indebted for their sacrifice and for their family's sacrifice. Now we'll read the official citation for his Paramveer Chakra. At number 2 picket on Taindhar on 6 February 1948, number 27373 Naik Yadunath Singh was in command of a forward section post, which bore the full brunt of the enemy attack. 9 men against overwhelming odds garrisoned the little post. The enemy launched its attack in successive waves and with great ferocity to overcome this post. The first wave swept up to the post in a furious attack, displaying great valor and superb qualities of leadership. Naik Yadunath Singh so used the small force at his disposal that the enemy retired and in utter confusion. 4 of his men were wounded by Naik Yadunath Singh, again showed his qualities of good leadership by reorganizing the battered force under him for meeting another onslaught. His coolness and courage were of such an order that the men rallied and were ready for the second attack, which came with greater determination and in larger number than the preceding one. Though hopelessly outnumbered, this post under the gallant leadership of Naik Yadunath Singh resisted. All were wounded, and Naik Yadunath Singh, though wounded in the right arm, personally took over the brain gun from the wounded brain gunner. The enemy was right on the walls of the post, but Naik Yadunath Singh once again showed outstanding ability and valor of the highest order in action. By his complete disregard for his personal safety and example of coolness and courage, he encouraged his men to fight. His fire was so devastating that what looked like impending defeat was turned into a victory, and the enemy retreated in chaos, leaving the dead and wounded littered on the ground. With this act of supreme heroism, an outstanding example of leadership and determination, Naik Yadunath Singh saved the post from the second assault. By this time, all men in the post were casualties. The enemy put in his third and final attack in undiminished numbers and determination to capture this post. Naik Yadunath Singh, now wounded, prepared literally single-handed to give battle for the third time. With great courage and determination, he came out of the Sangar. Sangar is the area where you cannot dig the trench, so you cover it up with the over the ground. You put the bricks and sandbags. He came out of the Sangar and finally, with the Sten gun, made a most significant single-handed charge on the advancing enemy, who, completely taken by surprise, fled in disorder. Naik Yadunath Singh, however, met his gallant death in his third and last charge when 2 bullets hit him in the head and chest. Thus, charging single-handedly at the advancing enemy, this non-commissioned officer performed the highest act of gallantry and self-sacrifice, and by so doing, saved his section, nay, his whole picket, from being overrun by the enemy at the most critical stage in the battle of the defense of Nowshera. Gazette notification 16, press oblique 50, 11-12.50. Food for thought for all of you listeners. Read that. Soldiers don't die when bullets pierce their hearts and heads through their uniforms. They don't die when they fall before an enemy onslaught, or even when they get buried in trenches, staining the earth with their warm crimson blood. It's only when we forget their actions or bravery and or their families who are physically alive that the soldiers die. This is the sentence used by Rachna Bishrawat in the Brave Paramveer Chakra holders. Now my question comes: Are you one of them? Yeah. Before I finish, everything is Rashtraya Swaha Idam Rashtraya Idam Namama. Thank you very much. I have finished. All the best.